Welcome on in for today's college football pick video play, talking about the Army-Navy game here, and going to give our lean on where we see the better value on the over-under, the total number sitting at 40 points, which is relatively low, but not a big surprise when you have two triple option teams going against each other. To get our pick for today's action against the spread, as well as all of our picks for today, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. So coming into this one, we have Navy at just 3-9 overall, and this is really going to be their Super Bowl of the year, which is usually the case, obviously, when Army and Navy are going head-to-head against each other. But Navy doesn't have the added bonus of going to a bowl game beyond this like Army does, so it's possible that the Black Knights could be looking ahead on their schedule. However, whenever it's Army and Navy going head-to-head, that would be a surprise, certainly, just given how much this matchup means to both of these squads. So Navy, like I said, at just 3-9 overall in comparison to Army, who's at 9-2. And part of this is because of the schedule that these two teams have gone against. Navy certainly facing a more difficult overall schedule this year, but still coming up well short of the expectations that people had for the Midshipmen coming into the season. And Navy, they've shown sparks of really good play from time to time. I mean, we look back at UCF just about a month ago, they only lost by a final of 24-35, and that's when UCF still had their starting quarterback. And then after that, they won against Tulsa, and then they came up short by just 1 point at Tulane in their last outing. So in general, Navy has been trending in a more positive direction over the past month of action. But in terms of their numbers, they haven't been all that impressive this year. They're averaging about 29 points per game, giving up about 35 points per game. And in terms of those numbers, they're actually pretty similar for Army in terms of that scoring average. They're putting up about 30 points per game. But defensively, the Black Knights have been much more impressive. But again, you have to discount that partially with the schedule that Army has faced. They're giving up about 19 points per game. And like I said, both of these teams triple option attacks. They love to run the ball. Army, they're averaging 303 rushing yards per contest compared to 81 yards through the air. And then you have Navy. Again, very similar numbers, about 289 yards per game on the ground and then 72 yards through the air. And we see this as being a relatively competitive matchup. This game means a lot to both of these squads, and whenever you have two run-heavy offenses going against each other, especially in this type of rivalry matchup, should be a methodical type contest where it's a field position type battle, and with two running teams, that will tend to limit the number of plays. And with that being the case, we do feel like the under 40 points is going to be the better value bet. So that's where we're siding in this one. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our picks for today over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for future videos.